me, James. Welcome to another episode of the Philly Sports Scenes and Events. The weather has been really warm and hot sometimes in Jersey this year. It has been hitting almost 90 degrees for a few days at a time. And now the weather's great, so I decided to come to Atlantic City, going to the beach, have some fun, but the ocean water is cold. It's freezing cold. It's Atlantic Ocean. The water is always cold. It's not gonna warm up until usually like about mid-July, August, and will stay warm all the way through October. But right now the water is cold, and it's only May here, and the Jersey Shore, it's hot, and there are people down here. Usually, people don't come down the shore until like about mid-June when the school lets out. But the weather has been hot here, so it's great. So I went to Atlanta for a week, and I wasn't sure what to do there. So I looked up on the internet and I found a few interesting places to go to. So first, on Friday, May 17th, I went to the U.S. Air Force Museum of Aviation. It is at Robins Air Force Base. And supposedly, this is the second largest U.S. Air Force's museum, because the biggest one, it's in Dayton, Ohio. It's the U.S. Air Force National Museum of Air and Space. And I went there a couple years ago because I always wanted to go. As you guys know, in the summer I do air shows. You know, I videotape air shows at some of the events that I attend. So I make a lot of air show videos. So I always had a great interest in the Air Force, aircrafts, fighter jets, bombers, transportation, cargo airplanes, because they're big and they're amazing. So a couple years ago, I went to the U.S. Air Force National Museum in Dayton, Ohio, and it was pretty cool. It's really big. They have about 4 or 5 hangars full of the military aircraft from all different eras, all the way from the beginning to World War I, and then World War II, and to today, with all the advanced fighter jets and missiles, satellites. It was really cool. So this time, since I'm already in Atlanta and it's about an hour and a half drive to the Robins Air Force Base. So I drove all the way from Atlanta, which is in the middle, kind of in the middle of Georgia, to southern Georgia, to the Robins Air Force Base. And to my amazement, it was really cool. When I first got there, I can see the F-15. It's all, you know, jacked up on like a trophy type display right in the front yard. And also there was a B-1B Lancer bomber in the front of the museum, and an A-10 Warhawk. It was really cool. And this place is big. It's not as big as the one in Dayton, Ohio, but it's very sizable. They have both indoor and outdoor exhibits. And there are 4 buildings and 3 hangars full of airplane and things to see. So in the main building, they had a gift shop in there, and also they had Air Force's F-15 Eagle on display as the centerpiece. And then you can go inside, around, and they show you a lot of exhibits from not today but recent years, like from near the end of World War II and Korean conflict. And then they had 3 other hangars of military aircrafts from World War II and up to today. One of the hangar has all the modern aircrafts in there, such as SR-71, a Blackbird, and outside exhibit was really cool too, because they have many of the airplanes outside. Cargo airplanes, fighter jets, missiles, smart bombs. Like I said earlier, they had the B-1B Lancer outside, and then they also had the B-52 on display outside. And there was like a amphitheater, like a courtyard area full of flags. There wasn't any concerts or shows there that day, but it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. And then also, just like the other Air Force Museum, they also had some monuments, dedicated to the soldiers that died in the wars, or just to the Air Force pilots. There were some monuments there. It was really cool. So I went there on Friday, and then on Saturday, May 18th, I went to the Delta Flight Museum. Just happens because my hotel, the hotel I was staying at, right behind the hotel, literally right behind the hotel, a couple streets down, it was the Atlanta International Airport. And Atlanta is known for being a transportation hub, and that airport is huge. I have never seen airport that big. Inside, if like, you have to take a train. It's free. It's the airport shuttle train. You got to take the train from one terminal to another, or from a terminal all the way to the baggage claim. You have to take that train because each station it's far away, because the terminals are far apart. And then for the car rental, it's a short distance walk. You just walk out of the airport, and immediately there's another building. You walk into it, and then you have to take another train, and that train does make a couple stops, because there is some kind of like art theater there, arena. Maybe they do sports there and concerts, I don't know, but that's the first stop. And then the second stop is for the airport car rental center, so you got to take the second train to go to the car rental center. So the airport is huge, and the airport is right behind the hotel I was staying at. So I noticed the Delta Airlines Flight Museum was there, so I went to check it out. And it was cool. They had some jets outside, some new, some old, including a Boeing 747 jumbo jet. You can go inside. It is part of the museum. And then they had a couple hangars there full of exhibits like the airplane's engine, and also they got jets in there, and the older propeller airplanes that Delta airline used to use, and they had a old Delta truck out there. So it was really cool. You see everything like you will regularly normally see at the airport. But nowadays, the airport, because of for security reason, the airport you can't like just go in there and take a look, see what they do, and they don't want you to see their operation. You have to go through the security checkpoint just to get to the terminals. And in terminals, sometimes if you look out the window, you can see some of the jets, parked out there. But it's really hard to see any airplanes at the airport from outside nowadays. So that was a great experience. You see all the airport stuff there, and they tell you how it works. And it's really neat because at the ticket office, they actually had the TSA screening X-ray machine there. So you have to walk through it, and you have to put your bag through the X-ray machine with the bell down there. So it's like you're entering an airport. So it was very well done, and it was kind of neat. And the same day, while I was at the Delta Fly Museum, and I noticed about the same time that our president, Joe Biden, was arriving in Atlanta because he is it's one of his campaign stop, and he was going to, I think, the Morehouse University in Atlanta to make a speech on Sunday. So on the way out, when I was leaving the Delta Fly Museum, I noticed there were a lot those unmarked law enforcement and police cars there, and also Atlanta police cars there. So I kind of figured out, which exit the president was going to use to come out, because most of the law enforcement vehicles was gathered right there at a private terminal, access to the airport. So I waited around there for about an hour. There were cops everywhere, So I waited around for about an hour, and eventually I did see the president. I saw the president's motorcade come out of that private terminal. It's called the Signature. Signature. It's a building. And I saw the president's motorcade come out, and I believe in my video, right? You see, I saw the president sitting inside of the presidential limousine, which is called the Beast. I did see the president sitting inside. There was only two of the Beast limousine that was there. Usually they have three, so you have to guess one out of three. You don't know which one the president's in. That's how they do it for security. But I did see the president, which was really exciting. And then the next day, the president was leaving. I saw the Air Force One there at the airport, was taxiing. But it went by really fast, so I wasn't able to make a video on Sunday. But I did see the Air Force's C-17 Globemaster 3 cargo airplanes there to pick up president's limousine and equipment. So that was really neat. So it was a great day. It was a great day. I saw a bunch of airplanes at the museum, and then I saw the president. I saw Air Force One and the presidential motorcade. I saw everything one day. And then on Sunday, May 19th, I found a couple of very interesting places in Atlanta that the tourist goes to. And even the locals, people that live there goes to those places. The first one, it's called Krog Street Tunnel. It's also known as the Atlanta Art Tunnel. You can look up on the internet, which uh, it's a tunnel that connect two neighborhoods of the city. Because Atlanta is always has been an transportation hub, so there were a lot of railroads built there. And I think back in the days, the railroad uh, separated the two parts of uh, a neighborhood, so you cannot go from one side of the neighborhood to the other side. So what happened is they built a tunnel that connects the two sides of the neighborhood, and then the tracks goes up, right? The tunnel's underneath the tracks, and then the track goes back down once it passed the tunnel. And then recently, it became, I wouldn't say so much of like in New York City or elsewhere, just a bunch of mumbo jumbo graffitis. I think it's more of an artist. The city invite artists to paint on the like murals type thing on the walls, right? That covers the railroad tracks. While it's going up and down, there's walls on both sides because they don't want the people to, you know, just walk through the railroad tracks. And also when it goes up and down, and there's on both sides it's elevated, so there is a wall, uh, and they were neatly painted in sections, and those are 100% art. And inside the tunnel is not so long. It's it takes about 5 minutes to walk all the way around from one side to the other side, then back. And inside the tunnel is really neat too. It's more graffiti-like art, but nothing offensive. It's really nice. I really enjoy that. And inside when I was in Atlanta, it's down south. It's really hot there, too. It's not much different than in Jersey, but inside the tunnel is nice and cool. And also, the cars drive through the tunnel, and then there are pedestrian walkways on both sides, so people ride bikes. And in Atlanta, you can rent those scooters, on the street, like the Uber scooters. So people rent scooters, people ride scooters and bikes and rollerblades, anything you can think of. You can walk, you can run through the tunnel. So that was good. That was a good stop. And after that, I went to this place. It's called Underground Atlanta. Some people call Atlanta Underground. So what happens is this place is it's a mall, or supposed to be a mall. And from what I know, it was because back in the days, once again, Atlanta is a transportation hub. So they built so many railroads on the ground level, and then it's hard for pedestrians and cars to get through. So what they had to do is to build one level up from the ground level. They have to move the street up, literally from one level up from the original ground level, because it's all train tracks and trains. So they built one level up for the cars and pedestrians. So what happens is the original ground level was just for the trains, and then the streets actually moved up one level. So the ground level become one level up, and the original ground level actually became underground, which is really weird. But as people start to buy cars, and there's other means of transportation, and the train wasn't in use that much anymore. So a lot of the underground train station was abandoned. So I think in the late 80s and early 90s, the developers decide to use the tunnel that was underneath the street level for the trains. They convert into a mall, and from what I know, it was really happening in the 90s, but then it died down, and also it was completely closed at during the pandemic. But then sometime later was opened back up, but it was not as happening as it was like in the in the late 90s and early 2000s, because there were a lot of homeless people in Atlanta. I think they moved in there and they squat there, and there was a lot of crime going on there, so people stopped going. So nowadays, it's open, but no one goes there, which is really weird. So when I got there on the street level, before you go down to the underground part, there is or there are signs for Atlanta Underground, and then right underneath the main entrance sign, they have like an outdoor party every day. It's just part of the events they do at Atlanta Underground. They have a DJ there in the trailer. They have food trucks, and then they have a pop-up bar. They serve all kinds of liquor there, and then it's almost like a flea market. There's people setting up tents and selling stuff, and also there's people are just sitting there chilling, like you would do at the Jersey Shore on the beach. It's kind of neat. People just hang out there, drinking and dancing. It was a good scene. I sat there for a little bit, and just to hang out and see what was going on. And then I went down to the underground part, and I had to say it was really weird because it opens up at 6 p.m. and when I went down there, it's just like a normal mall, right? There are nice stores there. There are really nice stores with the storefront, and everything's lit up. They got a lot of nice restaurants down there, nicely decorated Italian restaurant, and everything's lit up, like they are open. But the thing is, none of those places are open. It's completely abandoned. There's only one selfie store, right? You go in there, you pay them, and you can take selfies with the background they set up in there. There's only one selfie store. And one other store that was open, it was an art store. They sell all kinds of weird arts. I can't even explain. Just like modern or postmodern, weird art type things. The artist made up, you can buy. And the store is in an old bar, because there is a stage in there, for the band to play. When I walked in there, I thought it was a bar and had a art auction or something, and maybe the bar wasn't open yet, but that wasn't the case. They took a space of an old bar and turned it into like a flea market, like they're just selling arts. And then I walked through, they close up most of the part of the mall, and they only allow you to walk through like an L-shaped area. And there's a reason for that, because I noticed at the end of the L-shaped passageway, or the mall's hallway, and then you walk outside a little bit, and then kind of half outside, half indoor, underground. And they have a bunch of nightclubs and bars there. and I think they have band playing every night, and so that's the only thing is open. All the bars down there, just one section of it. It's open for people for late night for people to go out and have a drink and watch the band playing or dancing. So that's the only part's open, and that is why the mall entrance opens at 6 p.m. So this way people can walk through there, and or you can walk outside. There are the entrances you can walk down to the where the bars are. So the only thing that's open is the nightclubs and the bar in that whole mall, which is really sad. But that's just the way it is. In a lot of places in United States, like in Philadelphia, Kensington, it is completely run down, and it used to be a nice neighborhood, and it's just really sad. But anyways, the next day, Monday, May 20th, I went to World of Coca-Cola. As you know, the world famous Coca-Cola beverage, the headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia. So there is a museum. It's called the World of Coca-Cola in Atlanta, and it sounded interesting, so I went. And I have to say, it is interesting. I think it is built on the ground of the old the Atlanta Olympic Park, and the Atlanta's aquarium is right directly across from the World of Coca-Cola. Uh, so outside of the museum, there is a podium, with the Coca-Cola bottle cap on the top, and everybody stopping by there and taking a picture. And then you buy the tickets. The ticket's not so expensive. It's about $17 plus tax per person. You go inside, and I really liked it because when you first enter there, right, you have to wait until the door, they do it in groups, so you have no choice. You have to wait until the door opens, and then one group people can go in there, and then there is a live person, which she claims she's a Coca-Cola super fan also, and she's telling you a little bit history about Coca-Cola. And then after that, just like going to the Disney World, right? Another door opens, and then you go through that door, and then all of a sudden you're in a theater, and they show you some promotional video of Coca-Cola around the world, which was really neat. And then after that, the screen goes up, and then you walk into the museum, and they have so many different rooms and sections in that museum full of Coca-Cola artifacts. They had the picture of the person that invented Coca-Cola, and they had pictures of the person that bought the Coca-Cola company, like in the mid 1800s. And then they had all kinds of interactive games or learning things you can do with the display to learn about Coca-Cola's history, and also there are endless Coca-Cola like neon signs and delivery trucks from from Europe, from another country, and everything is old. They had in one area they had all the Coca-Cola vending machine, all the old ones there, and it was so neat. And then they had a Coca-Cola vault area, right, which where the Coca-Cola secret recipe was stored. So you go in there, you walk through some exhibits, and then you get to the actual vault, and they made it. It's like a theme park. It really is a theme park. They made it like in the movies, like you have to gain uh, access to the vault. But then when I got to the vault, right, I tried to steal the Coca-Cola secret recipe. I put my hand on the fingerprint key, and it didn't work, and then the buzzer went off. It was pretty scary because it was really loud. Yeah, the Coca-Cola vault. Touch it. And then after that, you enter an area where you can try Coca-Cola, and also Coca-Cola product. They had Coke product from all around the world. They had the black plum flavor soda from China. Then they had the champagne cola from Africa, and then they had tropical type drinks and soda from both Africa and Caribbean drinks. There were just so many different kinds of soda and beverage that you can try that are co-product from all around the world. I drank so much soda, my stomach was bloated, and I mean, like, I realized, because when you drink soda, you're just sipping on, eat with the food or whatever. I realized I was there, trying different soda. If you drink a lot, and you don't even have to drink that much, it does fill you up. So the world of Coca-Cola was, it was worth the money, it was worth the money because all that is very entertaining, whatever they do in there, and then you get to try all the soda. When you walk in there, they do take a picture. It's just like a cruise or amusement park. They do take a picture of you, and then later on, you can scan the QR code on the card. They give it to you to buy the picture, but it's very expensive. The cheapest picture is like, I think it starts at $20. It's a small picture, and then goes up to like $30, $40, $50. It's not worth it. So I had good experience at the world of Coca-Cola. So I just want to say, while I was in Atlanta, I saw on the TV news they're saying how good the Atlanta Braves, the baseball team, was playing this year. They're winning a lot of games. And Atlanta Braves is a good team. But this year, the Phillies, it's the best. The Phillies has been winning and winning and winning, and they're on the top of the winning list of the Major League Baseball this year so far. So the Phillies doing really good, and I hope they continue winning because there's so many Phillies fans in Philadelphia, right? I'm more of a football fan. I like the Eagles. I still like the Phillies and the Sixers, but usually they're not doing too good. But Philly's getting better and better, and I know there are a lot of Phillies fans because just like football, they go outside the stadium, the ballpark, to tailgate and stuff. It's just not on a large scale as football. Football is always crazy and grand, but yeah, there are a lot of Phillies fans in Philadelphia, so I'm sure everybody is happy in Philly. The Philadelphia Phillies are doing so good this year. So keep up the good work. And while I was going to Atlanta, I had to miss a couple of events. The first one, it's the Go Yards Philly game watch party, right? You go there to watch the Phillies game, and then uh, you can win tickets to the Phillies game. And it's not just any ordinary Phillies game. This is you go there and you get to meet, Phillies superstar player Kyle Schwarber, and then you also get to watch the game in the Yard Brewery suite with the WIP radio DJ Joe Giglio. So that's a good winning, right? That's a good price. But I was in Atlanta, I had to miss that. My friend Jody went, but she did not win, unfortunately. She messaged me, tell me I did not win. So sad. And then I also missed the second one of the WIP Radio High Hopes Phillies trivia. Right, High Hopes is a podcast, and they have a series of the Phillies trivia events that they do this year, where you can win pretty good tickets. Like they're like the second row tickets, and they're just pretty good tickets. And you can win tickets if you answer the trivia question right, and then they also do the drawing from all the trivia question winners. So I missed those two events, but then since I've been back, there has been no sports-related events, and that's why in this show, I don't mind, just telling you about my Atlanta trip, and my next show too. There just isn't any. The basketball is over, and there isn't any baseball, and it's too early for football, so there just isn't any, like that kind of sports-related event. But on my next show, I'll be going to a couple Memorial Day weekend horse races and things like that. So also for the upcoming event, Wawa Welcome America events, right? It's the main event. It's a concert. This year they have Kesha, and she's the main performer at the Wawa July 4th concert. But the way they do it is they start out June 1st, and it goes all the way through and leads to July 4th concert and the fireworks in front of the Philadelphia Art Museum. So June 1st, there are a couple block parties. The first one is 3 p.m. at the Xfinity Live. It's out back, and I think it's family friendly. The Wawa's there to give away stuff and things like that, and also you can win tickets to the July 4th concert and the fireworks. And the second one, I think it starts around 7 p.m. It's outside of Fillmore Theater in Philadelphia, and it's the same thing. It's family friendly. It's a block party out on the street. They got free giveaways, and then you can win tickets to the July 4th concert and the fireworks. So that's all for this week, and let's hope the Phillies keep on winning, because that's a good feeling, right? Every day you turn on the radio, you turn on the news, you see they're saying Phillies won again, and Phillies swept this team and that team. So that's a great feeling. So let's hope the Phillies keep on winning and maybe win the World Series this year. So let's go Phillies. Jersey Shore is hot. Let me show you. Let me pick up the thing. Look, I'm right here on the beach. You can see the ocean behind me. The reason I picked that angle is so my face is not a shadow, because the sun, it's up there. So that's it, everyone. I'll let you see the ocean.